Let's now find the roots of this quadratic equation by applying or by using the quadratic formula, wherein our quadratic formula is x is equals to negative b, positive negative, square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Wherein the b squared minus 4ac, yun yung tinatawag nating discriminant. When we say discriminant, it tells us how many real roots we will obtain. Okay? So, as I show you for examples, ay makikita nyo kung paano malalaman kung ilan yung real roots na makukuha natin, kung meron ba, using this discriminant. Okay? So, remind ko lang, bago natin pwede gamitin yung quadratic formula, make sure na yung equation natin is in general form. Ibig sabihin, all the terms, yung x squared, yung x, tsaka yung constant, dapat nasa isang side lang. Because kapag nag-substitute lang tayo what is the value of our a, b, and c directly on the formula, magiging iba yung sagot nun. So, make sure that it's already in general form before natin i-substitute yung value ng a, b, and c. And kagaya ng pinapagawa ko most student ko, para hindi kayo malito after you make it into a general form, identify natin muna yung a, b, and c. So, a is yung katabi ng x squared o nung second degree, which is, on this case, this is 9. And then, yung b naman natin, yung katabi ng variable x or yung katabi ng first degree, which is negative 12. And then, c is yung walang variable. Yan. Pinapa-identify ko yan sa mga student ko para pag nag-substitute sila, makikita nila kung tama ba yung substitute nila. And don't forget, kung ano yung nasa unahan niyang sign, yun yung sign niya. Okay, just like, yung 9, wala namang sign sa unahan, so positive yan. Ito, minus yung nasa unahan, kaya negative yan. And then, ito, plus yung nasa unahan, kaya positive. So, let's now substitute and solve for the roots. So, let's have this. Let's now substitute. So, dahil negative ang ating b, so it will be negative of negative 12. Yan. And then, negative b squared, so square of negative 12 minus 4, laging 4 yon based on the formula, times ang a natin is 9, ang c natin ay 4. Over 2a is 2 times 9. Okay? So, let's continue to solve. So, ito ay negative times negative, magiging positive 12. And then, positive, negative, square of negative 12. Since negative times negative is positive, magiging 144. Mamaya ko na isusulat yung radical sign. Minus 4 times 9 is 36 times 4 is 144. Then, square root over 2 times 9, that's 18. And as you can see, ako, pag nagsusolve ako, tinitingnan kung, ginaganto ko na yan kung ano yung sagot. Kina-cross out ko and then I will write the answer. So, dahil, and then I will put equal 0. So, 0. Pag 0, di ba sabi ko kanina, this is your discriminant, yung nasa loob ng radical sign. So, since this is 0, our root contains one real root. Or one real root. Sorry. Yan. And then, dahil 0 na yun, square root of 0, still 0. Because 0 times 0, kahit ilang beses mo pa yan i-multiply, 0 pa din. So, the value of our x, the value of our x is 12 over 18. Wala na yung positive, negative 0, plus 0 or minus 0. Walang mangyayari. And we will just have one value for x. Kaya nga tinawag na one real root. So, our x, the West term natin si 12 over 18. So, ang GCF nila is 6. So, pag dinivide natin yan sa 6, that is 2 over 3. So, this is the roots of this quadratic equation. Second example. Okay, so it's already in general form. So let me just identify first the value for A, B, and C. So A is equals to 4. Then B is equals to negative 5. C is equals to positive 1. Okay, nagkataon lang po ha na negative ulit yung B ko. Pero kapag po minsan positive naman yan, okay? And then let's now substitute. So x is equals to negative of negative 5, positive negative square root of yung b squared ko is negative 5, so square of negative 5 minus 4 times 4 kasi yung a ko is 4 times 1 all over 2 times a is 2 times 4. And then, negative times negative, negative a times negative is positive 5. And then, positive negative, square root of negative, the square of negative 5 will be positive 25. And then, negative 4 times 4 times 1 is negative 16 or minus 16 over 2 times 4 is 8. And then 25 minus 16, I will be putting equals na lang dito. And that is, let me count, 9. Yeah. So, dahil this is, 9 is greater than 0. So, yung discriminant natin is 9. And that is greater than 0 since that is positive. We have 2 real roots. Yan. So, mamaya magkakaroon tayo ng x sub 1 and x sub 2. Okay? So, para mas mabilis, I will be getting the square root of 9 na. So, di ba 25 minus 16 is 9. So, the square root of 9 will give us 3 and then over 8. So, we will now be getting our x sub 1 and x sub 2. So, dito ko na isusulat kasi may space pa ako dito. So, we have x sub 1 which is 5 plus 3 over 8. Yung x sub 2 naman natin is 5 minus 3 over 8. So, let's now solve for x sub 1. 5 plus 3 is 8 over 8. So, our x sub 1 is 1. And then, our x sub 2, 5 minus 3 is 2 over a, is 1/4. Okay, so our x sub 1 is 1. And our x sub 2 is 1/4. Checking time. 3x squared plus 48 equals 0. Let's identify our A, B, and C. A is equals to 3. B is equals to, since we don't have a first degree variable, so wala tayong B. So that is equals to 0. And then C is yung constant, which is 48. Now, let's substitute. So x is equals to negative times 0. Positive negative 0 squared minus 4 times 3 times 48 over 2 times 3. Okay, equals negative times 0. 0 is neither negative nor positive, so 0 pa rin yun. So, hindi na natin isusulat yung 0 sa unahan. Sulat na lang natin yung positive negative. And then, 0 squared is still 0. Minus 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 48 is 576. Ay, sorry. Over 2 times 3 is 6. So, we will be having positive, negative, 0 minus negative 576. So, dahil 0 to, babawasan mo ng 576, negative 576 yung nasa loob over 6. Okay, and as you can see, we have a negative. Wala pong square root na negative. So, dito na po papasok yung imaginary number, where I is equals to square root of negative 1. But remember that I squared is equals to negative 1. So, that is for imaginary number. So, dahil negative to, maglalabas tayo ng I. And then, let's check if there's a perfect square factor ng 576 o perfect square ba si 576. So, let's see. 12, 48, 6 times 8. Okay, so I think 576 is a perfect square. That is 24 times 24. Let's see. Okay, correct. So, 576 is 24 times 24. So, ang square root ni negative 1 is I. And ang square root ni 576 is 24. So, we will be writing x is equals to positive negative 4i over 6. I forgot to mention that this is, nakalimutan kong banggitin yung discriminant natin. Okay? So, dito ko na lang isusulat. So, our discriminant, which is negative 576, is less than 0. At dahil less than 0 po, ito, ang ibig sabihin po, we have no real roots. Yan po yung discriminant natin. Kaya po, kapag nakakita po kayo ng negative na discriminant, it means that our roots contains I. So, which is this. And, may lowest term pa yung 4 over 6. So, our answer is positive negative 2i over 3. So, that is, ay, wait lang, 24 pala, sorry. Naging 4 lang to. So, we will be having not 4, but rather it's 24i over 6. And then, we could divide, so we will be having positive, negative for I. So that is our roots, so which means that our x sub 1 is for I and x sub 2 is negative for I. It's not yet in general form, so we need to change it into general form. What I will do is I will just transpose this to this side. So it will be x squared minus 3x plus 6 is equals to 0. Okay, and I will identify now our A is 1, B is negative 3, and C is positive 6. And now, let's substitute negative of negative 3, positive negative square root of negative 3, square of negative 3, minus 4 times 1 times 6 all over 2 times 1. So, x is equal to negative times negative is positive. And then 3 tapos positive negative. Square of 3 is 9 minus 24 over 2. And then let's get now what is 9 minus 24. That is equals to negative 15. And again, this is less than 0. So we have, so our discriminant is negative 15. We have 2, we have no real roots because it's less than 0 because it's negative. Okay, and now 3 positive negative, and then let's get now the square root of negative 15. Wala pong factor si 15 na may perfect square, so we could just get now the square root of negative 1, which is I. So magkakaroon tayo ng I sa labas. That is how I write I. Pasensyahan nyo na po. And then I will just write yung 15 sa loob over 2. So wala namang common factor between 3 and 2, and also yung number dito wala naman, 2 lowest term 2. So writing it in separate x sub 1 and x sub 2. So sulat lang natin, x sub 1 is 3 plus I square root of 15 over 2, while the x sub 2 is equals to 3 minus I square root of 15 over 2.
Okay, so I will be speaking on this checking because as you can see, on binomial term, binomial yung ating numerator sa ating roots. So that if you will encounter this kind of roots and you need to check, this will be your guide para malaman nyo kung paano nyo ipapakita yung solution nyo sa checking. So I will just first show the x sub 1, and then sa x sub 2 checking, hindi na ako magsasalita. I will just fast forward the computation. So let me show you how we will be getting the square of, kasi malalagay natin to sa parentheses. Okay? So sabi doon, x squared. So yung 3 plus I square root of 15 over 2, i-square natin yan. Minus 3 times yung x natin, which is 3 plus I square root of 15 over 2 pa din yun. I-equals natin sa negative 6, which means dapat yung makakompute natin dito will be equal to negative 6 kasi yun yung nasa kabilang side. Okay? Let's compute now how we will be computing the square of 3 plus I square root of 15 all over 2. So dahil binomial yung numerator, we will be multiplying 3 plus I square root of 15 to itself. And square of binomial, para sa, kung gusto niyo mag-FOIL, pwede din naman. But for me, yung formula method na lang ng square of binomial. To square I binomial, we square the first term, which is 3 times 3 is 9. Next is 2 times the first term times the second term. So 2 times 3 is 6. Times I square root of 15, it will be plus 6 I square root of 15. And then plus the square of your second term. Ang second term natin is I square root of 15. So, remember, I squared is negative 1. So, meron tayong negative 1 dito. At ang square ng square root of 15 ay 15. Over 2 times 2, square ng 2 ay 4. Minus, ito naman, we will just be distributing this doon. So, 3 times 3, make it negative. Plus na lang itong gawin natin. Tapos gawin natin itong negative. Negative 3 times negative 3. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. And negative 3 times I square root of 15 is negative 3I square root of 15 all over. Ito, 2 pa din. Kasi, hindi naman na, this is over 1 yung 3 na yan. Equals negative 6. So, tingnan natin kung mag-equal siya. Sorry, nakita. So, negative 6. Okay, let's now compute. So, remember, dahil all over 4 to, denominator to ng 9, ng 6I squared to 15, at saka ng sagot dito. Okay? So, ngayon ang ginagawa ko, I make it negative 15. So, we could now combine 9 and negative 15. So, 9 plus negative 15 is 6. Negative 6 over, kasi mas mataas to, over 4, plus 6I squared to 15 over 4, plus, wala namang pwedeng i-lowest term, so gawin na lang natin gawin natin minus 9 over 2 at minus 3I squared to 15 over 2. So lowest term, and let's see if mag-equal siya sa negative 6. Okay? So lowest term muna natin to. Negative 6 over 4 will give us negative 3 halves. And then ito ay magiging 3I squared to 15 over 4. Minus 9 over 2 minus 3I squared to 15 over 2. Hindi natin kung equal sa negative 6. And as you can see ito, unlike sign to, so cancel. So let's solve the negative 3 halves and negative 9 over 2. Get this negative 3 halves and negative 9 over 2. It will be same sign, so we will be adding negative 3 and negative 9. So that is negative 12 over 2. So sulat ko dito. So again, ito yung ina-add natin. Na-combine natin. So magiging negative 12 over 2. At yung nasa right side natin ay negative 6. And then ito, so this is negative 6. So we could say that it is negative 6 equals negative 6. So which means that our roots are correct. Okay, let's now check the x sub 2. Ang pinagkaiba lang naman nila ay itong sign nila sa gitna, but I will show you that tama pa rin yan. Okay, I will not speak here anymore and I will just show you kung paano yung checking.